Hi, it's Sachibuchi from SuperBooth18 in Berlin, and I'm here with Enrico and Erik from IK Multimedia, who will show us the new Uno synthesizer. Hi, guys.
Sachibuchi.
Tell us about the new synth. It's very exciting.
Thank you. So, the Uno synth is a real analog synthesizer. It has a full analog audio path. It's a 2-oscillator synth. We have continuous shape control over the waveforms, so you can go from triangle to saw and everything in between, then from saw to square, then of course pulse width and pulse width modulation. The 2 oscillators are independent, so you can set one to the triangle wave, the other one can be modulating its shape or can be doing pulse width modulation. We also have a noise generator in the synth. These go through our filter, which is a 2-pole resonant multi-mode filter. So, of course, we've got our traditional low pass, high pass, and band pass with adjustable resonance. The resonance can get quite extreme. We also have a custom overdrive circuit, which brings a lot of character to the synth. So, if you have it in the regular low pass mode with a conservative resonance setting, no overdrive, you can get very traditional 70s warm synth sounds out of it. But if you push the resonance, if you start bringing up the drive, and especially if you use the high pass mode or the band pass filter, suddenly we're in EDM territory and you can get some really, really aggressive modern kind of sounds out of it. So the idea is, with Uno, it's 199 euros, exclusive of VAT. We wanted to make the analog synth for everyone. And so with our filter choice, we wanted to design a filter that could cover as much musical territory as possible. So we didn't want something that would only sound vintage or only sound, like it's from a EDM dance track or something like that. We wanted something that if you're an older guy that wants classic synth sounds, we can get that. If you're a kid that wants to do EDM on the train, okay, you can do that as well. That's the vision behind it. So we have 2 envelopes. There's a filter envelope and an amplitude envelope. They're actually 4 stages each, ADSR, but on the front panel we give you 2 stages. To make it a little cleaner and a little easier to use, we give you the stages that you use the most. So for the filter, it's attack and decay. For the amplitude, it's attack and release. If you want to access all 4 of the parameters, you can do it via MIDI CC or with the computer editor that we include.
So I was about to ask, as you come originally from the software world, I assume there is a full-flex editor software available for this?
Yes, you assume correctly. That's perfect, yes. So we have an editor that, of course, gives you all of the control over the synth, plus some additional controls, like if you want to route the envelope or the LFO to the wave shape or to pulse width modulation or things like that, we can actually name the presets in the computer because obviously there's just a small display here. There are 100 presets on board, and then of course with the editor you can store millions if you want. Okay, so we have an LFO with 7 different wave shapes: sine, triangle, saw down, saw up, square, random, sample and hold.
What's the maximum frequency of the LFO?
20 hertz. So we don't go into audio range.
Traditional LFO.
Traditional LFO. We keep it L. We keep it low, right? So we can you could set the rate here, and then in the upper range of the knob, it goes into note values. So this is a whole note, a half note, quarter note, etc., related to the tempo. It syncs to MIDI clock. So if you're synced with a drum machine or with a DAW or anything like that, the LFO will follow that. And of course, the sequencer and the arpeggio will do that as well. So there's a sequencer. Okay. So we have 100 presets. Each preset has a 16-step sequence attached to it. So the sequence can be done step by step, like a classic TB303, or we can record in real time. There's a metronome that we can turn on. But this is where it gets extra cool. We can record 20 synth parameters per step. So we can actually completely transform the sound for each step of the sequence. And Enrico, actually, we did a proof of concept sequence where he's created a drum pattern where he makes it like a kind of a sine wave kick drum sound going to a snare drum, going to a tom, and all that.
Bring it.
is a monophonic analog synthesizer, but we're just like transforming the parameters in real time.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
And because it's true analog, the parameter morph happens smoothly. There's no clicks and no zippering, no stair stepping, anything like that.
So one way to work with it would be to it works. It runs on batteries too.
Yes.
Okay.
Four AA batteries.
Perfect.
Right down here.
Yeah.
Over here on the side.
Yeah.
So it will run for about 10 hours
Wow.
on 4 AA batteries. So you can play an all-day festival with this different battery.
So you could like start working on sequences on the train, on the bus, or on the beach, and then head back to the studio, hook it up to your computer, and work out the details with even more settings accessible, right?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, you know that's it's the presets and your sequences are all written into RAM, so that if your batteries die, you still have the sequences. You're not going to lose that. So
I noticed it has been getting some heat already because of the choice of is it foil buttons, or what's the English word for these?
it's capacitance sensing. So it's not membranes. There's no actual switches underneath. So you don't actually have to press the buttons. You just touch them, and it's like the touch screen on your phone. So.
I think quite a few people got that wrong. They thought it was, these membranes, like the old memory moog or whatever it had. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we wanted to avoid that because that's not, in our experience, that's not the most reliable technology. But this is, capacitance sensing. So.
If I hook this up to a keyboard, will it feature velocity and aftertouch?
Yes. That's what we can set that, of course, in the editor. By default, we don't have velocity enabled because an analog synth, most of the time, it's not velocity sensitive. But we can do velocity to amplitude or velocity to filter.
So what's the price point of this?
Yes, it's €199, exclusive of VAT, because obviously in different countries it's different. So.
Yeah, very interesting synthesizer. Thanks for the overview. We'll be back, I guess. Or do you want to show some more sounds, perhaps? That would be great. Yeah, of course.
No problem at all. I mean, let's start.
That sounds very fat and juicy.
It is. I mean, I'm having fun. I was having fun even when I was developing all the aspect of that thing between me and Erik. So we are so proud of it, and it sounds so ready to be performed with. That's the point. And as you can hear, with an aggressive resonance and drive, you can really go into really nice pieces. So.
Sounds beautiful. Thank you very much, Enrico. The Uno synth from IK Multimedia, and that's Sachi Butch from SuperBooth. Bye bye, guys.